Your eyes do not deceive you. We're back for day 2 of 0 to 3's annual conference and day 2 of Annual Conference Live 2019. I am your host, recently given a promotion if you cannot see from the shirt. Yesterday, I was head lifeguard on duty. Today, I am captain in charge. So I'm going to throw our guests today, Susan Zoll and Leslie Seavey, a hypothetical. Say you were on a cruise. Day 2 of the cruise, a little voice comes on the speaker and says, there's been a little personnel change. Head lifeguard has been promoted to captain of the ship. What do you do?
Give you that one.
Oh, wow.
I don't know.
Just a little personnel change.
Just a person. I think I would want to make sure he knows how to drive the ship.
Okay, but you're open. You're open that this person might have the capacity to.
Sure.
Okay.
Why not? If he's good at saving lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Might be good at steering the ship.
Right.
I'm going to accept that. All right. Okay. Thank you both for joining us today. So let's get right into the substance. Tomorrow you're going to be presenting on specifically the importance of providing education pathways for Spanish-speaking family child care providers, right? Those who are caring for children who happen to speak Spanish. We talked a lot about how important it is to connect with Spanish-speaking families, but can you tell us why it's also so important to have opportunities for the Spanish-speaking providers, those who are actually caring for children that happen to speak Spanish?
Yes, so what we know is that there are similar attributes between families and Spanish-speaking family child care providers. They both share that they're greatly invested in the growth, development, and success of the children in their care. Yet, they have the least professional development or course offerings for them. And we compound this marginalization by when these few PD offerings or college-level courses are not accessible in a language that's understood by the caregiver. So knowing these demographics of children and the percentage of children who are in family child care homes, it's crucial that we provide content in a language that's understood to all educators. And as we move towards equity in education and improved program quality through state QRIS systems, a missing piece has been ensuring that high quality programming for all children and this attention to accessible content. And that's what we're trying to do through this new programming for Spanish-speaking family child care providers. We're trying to bridge that gap.
Great. So you speak about this program, and I know that recently you started an education pathway for Spanish-speaking family child care providers in Rhode Island College. And you spoke sort of about why that's important. How did you go about actually building the program, right? Doing the work to get that off the ground, to fill that gap that you speak to?
So building the actual program?
Yeah, building the actual program at Rhode Island
So we
College.
used a lot of the research we had from the state. So back in 2009 when the QRIS system was being developed, we had several studies that were developed and completed, and we realized that infant toddler care needed some work, that the quality needed to be improved, and the workforce development was a piece of that. Also, Rhode Island worked with 0 to 3 for technical assistance, and I believe it was around 2013 or 14 where we worked on developing next steps, some policy recommendations specifically around infants and toddlers, and of course workforce development was one of those identified. So going from there, then we began to think about what model would work best for the Spanish-speaking family child care providers, and really looked at, they had received a CDA in the state specifically for infants and toddlers, and so we're building on that.
Okay.
And so I'm going to let Susan talk about the model that was developed.
Great. Yeah, can you tell us, Susan, about what that program looks like?
So I'll just as a way how we came to this program. In 2016, we had a Race to the Top Early Learning Challenge grant, and we had 2 major deliverables. One was to create a new pathway for all the current early childhood workforce to earn a bachelor's degree, and then the second deliverable was to create a new birth to 3 bachelor's degree program. We actually partnered with 0 to 3. They helped us to develop these courses. And now from those courses, there's a degree program that just began this fall, all approved at the college. And we are taking 5 courses from that degree program. and we're creating a certificate of undergraduate studies. These 5 courses have been translated. All of the materials that we have PowerPoints, handouts, shorter articles have all been translated. Family child care providers come to the college 1 night a week to take the course from 6 to 9 p.m. And we're doing something called a RIBEST model. There's a national model called IBEST. We've made it the RIBEST model.
Okay.
So we are aligning the course content now with ESL instruction on Saturday. So they also get credits for that, and they come on Saturday mornings from 8 to 10. And so using the content of the course, they are learning ESL, speaking, writing, reading, in English using the content of the course.
Amazing. Great. Thank you both. So that being said, what kind of feedback have you gotten so far from those Spanish-speaking family childcare providers that are participating in the program?
Sure. The feedback so far has been very positive from the family child care providers. First of all, they really appreciate professional development that's credit bearing and in Spanish. So having the delivery in both English and Spanish is very important to the providers. And also the ESL supports, as Susan mentioned, has been crucial, and that feedback has been very positive. We've heard comments from them in regards to their communications with families, and even the children they care for has been strengthened because of their supports with their English language development.
Wow, excellent. And you're speaking to this now. You say that there's an improvement in the relationship there. What are some other ways that the initiative has influenced the family child care providers?
So what we hope first and foremost is that family child care providers who speak Spanish are feeling more recognized, and that they recognize that their needs are being addressed more directly. We also know through other workforce development initiatives that we've had that small successes in college, grades, retention, attendance, bringing this knowledge back into your programming, into your practice with young children, those small successes build greater transformation in the classroom. So we know that with the coursework that we're looking forward to more improved practices around children's language development, social emotional development, and cognitive development in their classrooms.
Great, a lot of anticipated benefits. As you look towards the future and the work that's been done so far, any changes you might think about when considering the future cohorts of classes that are coming up?
Sure. So one of the biggest challenges we've had is finding materials printed in Spanish, particularly the textbooks. So that's something we're continuing to look into, is to find more materials available in Spanish.
Right.
But we also are looking into combining more coaching with the content, because changing knowledge is important, but changing the practice is even more important. And so we feel that coaching can be something that we can look towards adding more of into the program.
So that there's some translation from the classroom to the
Right, and
to
support
practice.
directly
Right.
on site as they're working with the children.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. And then finally, how can our viewers learn more about all your wonderful efforts in Rhode Island?
Sure. So we're developing a website for the Rhode Island College website itself about the program, as well as anyone feel free to reach out to Susan and I for more information, because that's still in process right now.
Okay, great. Thank you both so much. Thank you for joining us today. Make sure to tune back in with us as the conference goes on at 0to3.org/AC Live. We're going to be bringing back to you so many more exclusive and important conversations.